Well, the Biden administration announcing plans to combat rising anti-Semitism on college campuses following anti-Israeli protests happening across the nation. Under the plan, the Departments of Justice and Homeland Security will work with colleges and local police to track hate-related speech online and provide federal resources to schools, while the Education Department will host webinars on how to file reports. Fox News White House correspondent Peter Doocy grilling the Biden administration on the recent demonstrations yesterday. Watch this.
Does President Biden think the anti-Israel protesters in this country are extremists?
What I can say is what we've been very clear about this. When it comes to anti-Semitism, there is no place. We have to make sure that we speak against it very loud and be very clear about that.
Does President Biden look at these anti-Israel protests on college campuses and think it's nice to see that the country's youth are so involved, or does he think the next generation is doomed?
Here's the thing. There's no place for hate in America.
No.
I'm telling you, there's no place for hate in America, and we condemn any anti-Semitic threat or incident in the strongest terms.
Joining me now, Israeli Defense Forces paratrooper unit veteran and Nassau County legislator Mazi Pilip. Mazi, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
First, I want you to react to what you heard from the White House. Her language was strong, but still, we are seeing an incredible amount of anti-Semitism. I don't know about you, that I've never seen in my lifetime in this country.
You're absolutely right. This is frightening, unbelievable, out of control. And yes, I'm happy the White House taking a serious step. However, I don't think that's going to stop. It's a good start. They have to do more. This is very concerning. I mean, we're talking about anti-Semitism that we never saw before. We felt it. You know, I was rallying just last year against CUNY College when they allowed the law graduate students giving a hate speech, which was, back then I knew it was wrong. We were on the street screaming. But right now, this is out of control, and we are worried. I am worried, and it's not fair. We want more action, and I know they can do it.
Well, you want more action from Governor Hochul, near Governor Hochul. So she did denounce the threats against the Jewish community during a visit to Cornell. That was yesterday. She called for criminal charges against anybody who makes any threats online to slit the throats of Jewish students, and slamming a professor who called Hamas's attack, quote, energizing. Meanwhile, Jewish students at Columbia and Barnard College denouncing the university's inaction against anti-Semitism after 100 professors signed a letter that defended students who supported Hamas's attack. Unbelievable. That was yesterday, Mazi. You've been at the front lines at Columbia. You spoke at the university. You attended you attended a protest. You pushed back against these kids, the violence. Talk about firsthand your experiences and what you've seen on the ground.
For me, it's shocking, even to be in the street and screaming in front of Columbia. For them, the administration, to do something to protect our students. I cannot believe that I had to be there with another 600 people with me. And I spoke with students. They're scared, and I feel they're alone. And really, to be honest, nobody's doing anything. It took them, what, 25 days to react, even for Governor Hochul. I'm happy, but it took too long. We're waiting for what? For what we're waiting? It's just unfair, and I can't see our students suffering this way. Terrified. Why? Why we deserve that? I don't understand it. We are the victim here. Why the world is confused? Why people is confused? Why Hamas supporters is dancing and showing like support of a terrorist organization who killed, burned babies? I mean, we all saw it. This is real stories. We all experienced it, saw the videos. 25 days what happened to us. Instead of comforting our students and giving them a sense of security, we just see the opposite side. It's just unreal.
A Columbia professor called the Hamas massacre awesome and a stunning victory. A Yale professor tweeted, what an extraordinary day. That was October 7th. And then also said that Israel was a murderous, genocidal settler state. I mean, this is the nation's university, so that's first and foremost. But I want to go back to Governor Hochul. I mean, she was quickly on a plane going to Israel. I'm not sure what she thought she accomplished over there, but you're saying she is definitely not doing enough here to deal with what we're seeing yesterday, in particular, in the streets of New York. The Brooklyn Bridge shut down.
I'm happy she went to Israel. That was very nice to see her support. However, Governor Hochul, don't forget, you have over 2 million Jewish community here living with you. We are scared. One of the person who, thanks God, she survived the attack. Natalie, I think she was in your, in the news lately. She's from my district. Yesterday, I spoke with her, and during the event, she said she feel secure in Israel. I mean, this girl, like
more secure in Israel than you are in the United States.
Yes.
I had a Jewish friend tell me that yesterday as well.
A person who almost was killed during October 7th. She, miraculously, I mean, she escaped, she survived. I mean, she's telling us she feels more secure right now in Israel than here. That's a big statement for somebody almost killed. I mean, it's showing you. I mean, people stopping me. I'm finding myself even to supermarket when I go. People are crying. I'm hugging and I'm trying to lift up people. This is the feelings around here. And again, it's not fair and it is unacceptable. We cannot be quiet about this anymore. And I'm really expecting more action from everyone. Everyone. Hate speech is not allowed.
Yeah, I agree with you. I want you to put on your paratrooper hat for just a second as someone who served with the Israeli Defense Forces, because they did announce that they did kill the Hamas leader that was directly responsible for the October 7th attack, that he was one of the largest planners of it. They struck 300 targets just in the last 24 hours. Compounds inside that were Hamas. The tunnel system is being attacked, anti-tank missile rocket launch post. So because of your veteran, put your veteran hat on for a minute, what do you make of what you're seeing as far as the ground offensive now that, and there's your pictures you served, now that the Israelis have now gone into Gaza?
Listen, this was forced on us, and I'm very proud of the IDF, really. They're doing what they need to do. Nobody wanted this war. And therefore, they have to go in and destroy Hamas, a terrorist organization. And I don't want nobody to be confused about this. And I don't want to hear Israel has a right. Israel has obligation to protect their people. Very simple.
Are you worried about your colleagues and friends that are fighting in Israel right now?
Definitely. My colleagues, my family, my entire family live in Israel. I have a sister who's a police officer right now. She's protecting the borders with M16. Checkpoints, you never know who's going to walk in or drive in. I have nephews, family members, it's fighting as we speak. I concern very much. However, there's no other choice. We saw enough. We cannot allow anything like this to happen ever again.
Well, certainly, Mazi, we are all thinking about the people of Israel right now. I can't imagine the level of anxiety that your family is experiencing, especially when those sirens are going off every day. I think, 90 seconds they have to get into a shelter? And that's every day. That's still happening daily, correct?
Absolutely. I have a sister who lives in Rishon LeZion. It's near Tel Aviv. And yes, they running from their home to the shelter every second. I mean, can you imagine? It's the little kids, what they have to go through. This is very scary, and they took away, that sense of security from the people. And
Mazi Pilip, thank you very much for coming in, and please come back anytime. It was great to see you.
Appreciate that.
All right,
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.